What is the role of the product owner in backlog refinement? It's pretty pivotal, to be honest. So a product owner is there to make sure that the Scrum team are working on the most important problems for that product to help those customers. So number one thing that they're going to be doing is making sure what's going into refinement is the most important things to talk about. Likely what's coming up in the next sprint or so. This is based on the order of the backlog, based on the priorities, based on the value, based on all of this stuff swirling around the product owner's world. These things are likely to be coming up soon, so we need to talk about that. So first of all, they're going to be working out what are we talking about in refinement, particularly the stuff that's coming up next. There is longer term things as well, and that's going to be more of a team effort in my experience rather than just the product owner, but they're definitely in that conversation too. Then they're going to be there representing a lot of those items. The customer themselves may not be available or may not really truly exist, and the product owner is acting as their representative. Now, if you can get the customer in, that's wonderful. You're talking to somebody firsthand about the problems they're experiencing, and that's great. But very often the product owner is the best person to represent them. So they're going to be doing that. They're going to be explaining what the need is, okay, why it matters. So the who, what, and why that you may remember from user stories, this is going to be coming from the product owner. They're going to be answering questions. They're going to be making decisions. They're going to be working with the team to create that understanding across the whole team. And that's really their job, is making sure we're talking about the most important things, making sure everybody else is on the same page about why these are the most important things, and then discussing them with the team to ensure that they understand the problems as needed. What I will add though is they're also going to be connectors. Sometimes they aren't the right person. Sometimes they recognize that they need a deep specialist to explain this problem better, or whatever it is, or maybe they just have the real customer who's available and willing to talk to the developers, and they recognize that nobody's going to be a better representative of that problem than the person experiencing it. So they're going to connect their developers with that customer and say, you know what, this is really important to me. I can be in the conversation, but I may not need to be as a product owner. But please have this conversation now. Make sure that the developers and we as a team understand this problem fully. Okay? And potentially, if there's something more important for them to be doing, they could go and do that. I would like them involved in that conversation too, because they are part of the team. They need to understand the problem. But if they've recognised that's really important, and Terry down the road can explain it better than me, they've actually fulfilled that first part and the second part. They've ensured the team know what's important. They've ensured they have access to the people or the person who can solve that problem for them, can explain it for them. And that is critical. A product owner at the end of the day is not going to be do everything. Right? They are representing a lot of people. There's a lot of competing stakeholders out there. And sometimes those stakeholders can better articulate, better represent the work that needs to be done. The product owner's job is to ensure we're building the right product, not necessarily being involved in every aspect of refinement. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.